Well, as we count down to the showdown between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton in their first presidential debate tonight, the media already weighing in with expectations. So how will they handle what happens on that stage about 7.5 hours from now? Joining us is Alan Colmes, host of The Alan Colmes Show, nationally syndicated by Fox News Radio. Kelly Riddell, columnist and commentary writer for The Washington Times. Welcome to you both.
Hi.
Alan, good to see you. Kellyanne Conway says the fix is in, that the media is unfair. She said this morning that network embeds, two producers for the network, she won't say who, are slandering. She used the word slander against Trump because they tweet, she said, 92 negative things about Trump. I mean, is she right?
Look, I mean, Kellyanne Conway also kind of skated on the lie that Lester Holt is, you know, Trump said, oh, he's a Democrat. Well, actually, he's a registered Republican. And then her response was, well, he didn't know one way or the other, so it wasn't really a lie. This is the expectation game. You know, they're out to get me. It's rigged. It's rigged against me. This is the game he's playing with the election. It's a game he's playing with the debate. And that's what he says to his audience. You see, how can I even win? And then anything he does above that is considered a victory.
So basically, they're trying to spin it that way?
Exactly.
Well, and they're not wrong. I mean, according to an Indiana University, according to an Indiana University survey, a mere 7% of political journalists and journalists overall are Republican.
We're talking about Lester Holt.
We're seeing, yes. So when Donald Trump made that assumption, but when he made that assumption, he wasn't wrong to make that assumption. Only 7%
he didn't know what he was talking about. He lied.
Of journalists are Republican. There is a tilt here. And you saw that yesterday when you had all of Hillary Clinton's surrogates go out and say that we need to fact-check Donald Trump. Every minute of this debate needs to come down to a fact-check, and Lester Holt needs to, you know, put up to his end of the bargain, basically saying that Hillary Clinton can't do it herself on the debate stage. And then Brian Fallon said on top of that, when they go into the spin room, we need to catch Donald Trump out for his lies. Well, you want to know what the New York Times thinks is a whopper of a lie from Donald Trump? That Hillary Clinton smashed 13 of her devices. What's the truth? She smashed 2 of her devices. Isn't it enough that she's smashing devices so that people can't see what she sends or receives?
That's a lie too.
I mean,
that's even a lie right there. That's not why the device was smashed and destroyed, so people could not see what was in it, because that material exists on an SMS card.
Alan,
so
have you ever smashed a device with a hammer before?
I wanted to, believe me.
Well, you know, Donald Trump yesterday said that Mrs. Clinton, you know, smashed devices. But Kelly, you mentioned something. Let me show you some of these headlines. You know, they're going to have to put both of them up to lie detector tests tonight or something, or hook them up. Because when you see the media, this is the LA Times, scope of Trump's falsehoods. Unprecedented for a modern presidential candidate.
True.
New York Times, you just mentioned this one, a week of whoppers from Trump.
True.
But Alan and Kelly, they listed 31 falsehoods, exaggerations, or outright lies. That's a quote from Mr. Trump. Alan, they had 0 for Mrs. Clinton. It was a whole full page of Trump. There was nothing on Clinton. And then the Washington Post, Trump's week reveals bleak view, dubious statements, and alternative universe to get the point across. I mean, isn't it, though, Alan, unfair if the New York Times lists, you know, 30-some-odd for Trump?
We have never seen anybody lie like Donald Trump. He's a pathological liar. If he says hello, he probably means goodbye. I mean, this guy lies simply because his lips are moving. And look, but I might agree with Kelly here. I don't think it's the role of the moderator to play traffic cop, other than to make sure the trains run on time, or to be the truth detector. That's the job of the other candidate. It's also the job of the viewer. Viewers have to do their own homework and determine what they perceive to be true or not true. They've got to know what's going on, too.
Kelly, that's a pretty good point.
Well, yes. I mean, it's exactly the role of the candidate is responsible to fact check the other candidate on the ground and to think on their feet. With these fact checkers, though, I mean, we really have to, fact checking has become opinion journalism with a heightened sense of objectivity. I mean, Politico said that Donald Trump told a lie by saying that ISIS was an unbelievable threat, saying that that was subjective, the threat of our time. I mean, this is absurd. Some of the things that they're fact checking Donald Trump for his, you know, truthful hyperbole. He says things in an exaggerated form to make an overall point. It's gotten to the point of just ridiculous.
So tonight we'll look for any potential fibs, falsehoods, oops moments, and potential outright, you know, slanderous lies. But finally, the dynamics. Alan, I look back to 2000. I was in Buffalo covering the debate between Rick Lazio when Mrs. Clinton was running for Senate. Remember this moment? Well, in the room, it didn't look like that much. Rick Lazio walks over to her, and you're like, ooh, look, he's walking over to her. Okay. But on television, it became a firestorm. What is the difference between the dynamics of what happens in the room and what we will see on television tonight?
Well, things look a lot different on TV. The visuals are different. It looks a lot smaller than the actual size of the room. So when you see it on TV, it looks like he's right in her face. Rick Lazio, funnily enough, had some good advice, like don't leave the podium, which is probably very good advice for Donald Trump.
Yeah, Alan, what do you expect tonight, Alan?
I expect that the expectations for Donald Trump are so low that if he doesn't spit up for an hour and a half, or if devil's horns don't grow out of his head, he may do better than expected.
All right, Kellyanne, what about those devil horns?
Sorry?
What about those devil horns that
I think,
mentioned?
I think that Donald Trump, because the Clinton team has made this a referendum on his temperament, if he just shows up and is a sober candidate, then he wins because they've placed those low expectations.
See, that's all he's got to do. It's so simple.
All right, there's the prediction, Alan and Kelly. We'll see you tonight.
Thank you.
Everyone's going to be watching right here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.